A lot of open. In the opponent's shooting percentage was through the roof. You can't win with
Here's Paul. 23 points for him the last game against the Lakers.
You know, guys, Taj Gibson now is 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
Now here's Paul. He has been a nice option for them offensively and is averaging more than 17 points a game.
You really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Here's Rose. Clippers able to drain the three. Butler on the way. From the baseline. That one off the back iron and out. Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
And here's Mbah a Moute after Jimmy Butler made that last three-pointer. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Gasol a screen. Thomas gets a wide open look. Not really his range, and it's off target. For Los Angeles, they've gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Paul kicks to Mbah a Moute. The feed now to Redick. No good on the triple.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
And Jordan sends it back. Paul against Rose. Jordan sets the pick for Paul. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Last season for Chris Paul, another strong season. Yet quite a year for him in terms of media hype. He was as strong as ever on the court and off the court.
And that's a great point. He did kind of fly under the radar. It's hard to imagine a first-team Hall of Famer in the future could do that, but a lot of it had to do with Steph Curry kind of coming on to the scene, splashing on the scene, if you will. But he is still one of the top point guards in our league.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
For Paul, you talk about the lack of talk about him last year. Very quietly came close to the 50-40-90 club.
Rose, good.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense, but he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Paul kicks to Redick. Pass to Mbah a Moute. Paul outside. Six to shoot. Outside Jordan. Inside. Here is Mbah a Moute. Los Angeles with another miss.
The 50-40-90 club, something only elite scorers reach, and Paul came close while playing point guard. He might not get the height he used to, but CP3 is very much still one of the best in our league.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. What did you find out, DB?
He talked about how they match up with a player like Paul Pierce, saying, he's one of those guys who really does it all at a high level. Defend, score, you name it. I think defensively, we may look to double some and force other players to make shots. He's one of the greats. You enjoy the challenge of playing against him and just hope you can have enough to win. Guys, we'll see who carries the day.
Thanks again, Doris. They get it back. Here's Gasol, and it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg. Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Be good, too.
Now, here's Mbah a Moute. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Here's Gasol. Played in with a nice touch. Gasol's got 5.
Well, I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now, here's Mbah a Moute. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. He dishes it to Redick. And yes, sir, that one drops. 5 points in the game.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Mbah a Moute against Gibson. 3-pointer. Butler happy to see that one go in for his second make in 5 attempts.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Now, here's Redick. His last outing with 20 points. Back to Jordan. It's Pierce on the wing. He's guarded by Thomas. Shoots. The shot is off.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Butler dishes to Rose. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. Hey, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Chicago?
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but it just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir.
And for the Clippers and flopping, part of it might just be reputation. Whenever anyone hits the deck on their team, fans might be quick to kind of condemn that as a flop.
Let's take this chance to look at the teams that have been the league's most efficient passers this past month. Fourth, the Clippers.
And what stands out during this recent stretch is just how well they passed the basketball. I mean, this is a club that has become really unselfish.
Unloads from 9, and so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2. Chris Paul picks up that one.
You know, the Clippers were the darlings of the NBA as they improved and made strides, but I think the flopping has kind of diminished that now, that love affair. Being labeled a group of floppers can certainly stifle your popularity.
Good on that one. Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, with the 111 first place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
And the second free throw, good.
You know, looking back to Rose's MVP award, his stats were on another planet that year. He was only the third player to record 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season since 1973. The other two, LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Now here's Paul. Passes it to Jordan. Down low. And Mbah-a-Moute kicks to Pierce. Gets that one to fall after missing his first two. 1 for 3 from the field.
That's a heads-up play there on offense. The pump fake cleared the way for the nice layup.
You know, and talking about D-Rose, I don't think the individual awards mean much to him. He's about trying to help his team win championships. And that's the kind of mindset he has to continue to display.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. He made it look easy that time.
And you can see he's got a little bounce in his step. 3 out of 4 to start.
Paul against Rose. Paul passes to Jordan. Outside, Pierce. Shot clock at 5. Lets it go from deep. They grab their own miss. Jordan with the bucket.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Here is Rose. A 24-point outing in their last game against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but he set up shop at the free throw line. I mean, he just could not be defended out on the floor.
Good on the shot. And that's now 7 points for Pau Gasol.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
And it's Paul penetrating. Jordan. Boom, he jams it straight down.
What a sweet assist by CP3.
Chris Paul, guys, for the last decade, the best point guard in the NBA. Now, there's some new competition for that distinction, though, with Steph Curry breaking through to NBA stardom. And it's always exciting to watch these two go head-to-head. Stat sheet here on Chris Paul. Some nice work from him over the last 10 games. 14th in assists, and he's among the top 20 free throw shooters in the league. Doesn't waste many opportunities at the line.
And, you know, he's really the consummate playmaker. He's got his head on a swivel. He looks for the open man. Completely unselfish as a hooper.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Cole Aldrich. He's checked in for Jordan. Dawson comes in for Mbah-a-Moute. Lance Stevenson's checked in for Paul Pierce. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Chris Paul. Now here's Thomas.